Is November the 17th, just a couple of days now until Thanksgiving, which is like a lot to deal with here. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Wow, I could tell I'm ready for some coffee talk, Campeche. All right, so here we are on another soaking wet morning. I'm West 2 meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk. We get together about 7 days a week, 8 a.m., chat about what's going on in the world of weather. The goal here is not just for me to talk, but you to chime in, throw some comments in, and we make this kind of an interactive iteration of the weather. Oh, the vehicle assembly building, lots of clouds. Yeah, not what you'd call the prettiest of mornings, right? And this is the scene playing out across all of Central Florida. To our first morning live Doppler radar we go, and there it is, more rains coming on in. Let me put a lapse on this, and you can see those rains coming on in. And as a matter of fact, heavier batch of rain coming in right around the Kennedy Space Center here. It's not severe or anything, but like there's that live radar sweeping on through. Velocity, yeah, not too bad in terms of wind. It's not severe or anything, but 20, 30 mile per hour, good gust of wind in there for sure. But that's all moving into Indian River City and Titusville. Let me put a lapse on this, kind of see it working on in, crossing the causeway there. So if you live in that area, just know, yes, it's going to be pouring here shortly. Further to the south, a little bit quieter. Thank goodness southern Brevard County is quieter. We're going to look at some raw rain numbers here in just a couple of minutes' time. I want to show that to you. Up here to Volusia, though, we're watching more and more of these rains cycling on in. New Smyrna Beach, for example, a good, solid downpour coming right on in. Right on in. Pouring down rain there. Sam Sula, you'll be up next. Eventually, it'll work over toward like DeLand and Orange City. Some showers up through Ormond Beach, up into Flagler County. Not too bad here. Just some showers moving from Marineland to Palm Coast. Out to the Ocala National Forest, watching a little bit of rainfall, kind of sneaking on that direction. Salt Springs, a little bit of rain. That moves over to Ocala, Anthony, Citra, Reddick, Bellevue, Weirsdale, through the villages, and Leesburg, watching some rains. Moving on through back into Sorrento, into the metro. It's a good steady rain. Yeah, I wish that it was like sunshine, because we all know sunshine on my shoulder makes me happy when skies are gray. I can't take credit for that one. You know. Temperatures out the door, 60s and 70s. It's definitely another day to wear I mean, for me, I'm wearing jeans, you know. So it's wet this morning. We'll keep the clouds around, but notice little bit by little bit by little bit, we'll see the rains tapering off. That's a nice change, right? 50%, 40%. By tonight, clearing out little bit by little bit by little bit. And then by the weekend, can you handle this? I'm going to give you a weekend forecast, okay? We'll keep mostly cloudy tomorrow, but we're bringing down the rain chance. And then by Sunday, the sun comes out. So, we've got some changes. Thank goodness. Yes, is not what I wanted for my day off. Girlfriend, you and me both. Happy Friday, everyone. Winnie says rain has stopped for the moment here in Sanford. I'm thankful I could take my garbage out without getting soaked. You and me both also. So let's do this then, okay? So that's just kind of a brief look at today's forecast. But before we go any bit further, I want to look at some of the raw rain numbers, okay? This is important because some of these numbers are just wicked. All right, let's start here in Brevard County, and I've made the font bigger. I could probably even make it bigger if we want to. Yeah, let me make it like massive, and then we could just kind of look around. What I've done, by the way, is I've turned off any of the numbers that are like 2 inches of rain or less, just to clean it up. Because if I didn't do that, like it would be super loaded, you know, with stations that maybe aren't reporting. So I'm just going to do that. But anyway, so down here in southern Brevard, like right on the Brevard Indian River County line, this is 72-hour rainfall numbers. Now, just so that you know, this is a weather site that is put together by the National Weather Service, and it's kind of what we use to gather some raw numbers for you. But look at this. Palm Bay, almost 9 inches of rain last couple of days. Right over east, whatever SBA 25 is, 7.5 inches of rain, right? We come up to the north and there's 4, 5, 6 inches of rain. Now, right at like Melbourne Beach, it's 3 inches of rain, but you go up to the north, Indian Harbor Beach, 6.5 inches of rain. Look at that. One of the stations there right near, if we wanted, like we can go in almost street level and show you, like it's right off of Penita there and 95, 8.6 inches of rain last couple of days. Further to the north, Patrick getting 2 3/4 or so. But I mean, look at some of this, like 8.4 for Port St. John, 6.36 over at one of the FAU sites there. Look inland. 5, 6 inches of rain last couple of days. Yeah, I mean, these are significant numbers. Significant numbers. Out west, 5.27, that's out at the Sumter Health Department. 6.16 out near Wekiva. Further north, it's a little bit less, but like still, like Volusia County, look around Volusia. Daytona Beach out near the airport, like y'all got hammered. 7, 8 inches of rain the last couple of days. Ponce Inlet, 7 inches of rain. Even Flagler, 2, 3, 4 inches of rain. So that's something. Now, if we do this and we look at wind gusts, I just want to look and see. Let's do that. I just want to look and see if we got any decent wind gusts. And I'm going to take the gust to like anything 25 miles an hour or greater. And this is yesterday. It's thinking. All right, so like yesterday, some of the gusts in Brevard ran 30, 35, 40 miles per hour. Let's head down to like the Palm Beaches. See about anything down here. Because the thing about it... Are you going to get me some data? I guess. It would have been probably the day before then. There we go. All right. So the day before, like some of these wind gusts down here, like in the Keys, there were some spots that were reading hurricane force wind gusts. I just want to look and see. Give it a second to load. There were some hurricane force wind gusts on some, not on any of these because these are official stations, but there were some stations the day before that that had shown some hurricane force wind gusts. So anyway, all this to say, we had ourselves quite a little storm system here over the last couple of days, right? It was non-tropical in nature. I know I've like just bored the snot out of you with like just looking at some of this stuff, but I think it's important. You're not going to show this on TV necessarily, but I think it's important to review what is going on. So there's the area of low pressure. Essentially what we saw happen here is this area of low pressure kind of started forming down around the Keys, looped around, and is going like up the shoreline. This has been an impressive little storm system. It has absolutely been something impactful, non-tropical in nature because it had fronts attached to it. Okay. Now, where do we go from here? Well, here's Futurecast, 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock this morning. Notice the showers backing off. And then, Futurecast is even trying to say that we'll get some sunny peaks through the day. So little bit by little bit by little bit, we're going to be improving. And then looking ahead overnight tonight into tomorrow, like plenty of clouds to wake up tomorrow, even a little bit of fog according to Futurecast, but like a few showers maybe? Clouds, but look at Sunday. That is what we're going to be looking forward to, my friends. That is what we're going to be looking forward to. So we've got much better weather ahead. Just have a little bit of a transition to get from this right? Like downtown Orlando, it's like somebody's like holding something up. You know what it is in aviation? These are your foggles, basically, is what you're looking at. Yeah. Evelyn, I don't understand how they're saying it's not one hurricane. If it's wind gusts or hurricane winds, doesn't it automatically be a hurricane? No. It has to do with, is it feeding off of the warm water or is it feeding off of the atmosphere? And because you can see in the bottom left corner there, it has fronts attached to it. Tropical systems do not have fronts attached to it, right? So because this puppy has fronts attached to it, it's not a hurricane. Now, that said, it is a clear indicator to me, looking long range at my hurricane forecast, this is a big player in our forecast going forward. And if you're unfamiliar with that, and we're certainly going to have plenty of discussion on this going forward, but essentially, I make a hurricane forecast every season. This is how it works. A yearly weather pattern sets up during October and November. And then what you do is you look for the major players during that timeline and watch it loop over and over and over. And in this case, this is a storm system that I would suspect could loop over and over and over again. And I would suspect that this is going to be an indicator for the 2024 hurricane season. So it'll be interesting to watch. But no, this was not a hurricane. It doesn't mean that it was any less impactful. A lot of hurricane force and tropical storm force wind gusts, particularly around South Florida. Obviously, as I showed you, a very big rain event in our area. Doesn't have to be a hurricane or a tropical storm for it to be impactful, right? So there you go. But it's something we're going to be watching. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns about that so far? An indicator may even be the signature part of the pattern. Mickey, I would imagine it's at the very least the signature part of the pattern for right now. I can't promise that it's going to be and going to stay, but to me it is the signature part of the pattern. Yeah, at least for right now. Tranquility, healing, arts, and wellness. Rain tomorrow. Yeah, a few showers. It's not going to be too bad. Yeah. Julie says we had to drain our pool 3 times yesterday, right before we went to bed last night. My pool was low, and I did that knowing that I was going to have a decent rain, and it's now high. I haven't drained it yet. But you know what's funny is I have not had to drain my pool since the first year we built this house. So 2019/2020. I haven't drained my pool since 2019/2020. So may have to do that. Oh, no, that's a lie. I did for Ian. I had to drain it. That's a lie. I rarely drain it. May have to drain it today. We'll have to see how this rain plays out. Brian on YouTube says we're starting to get some flooding here in New Smyrna Beach. I mean, it makes sense. You know, some of these rainfall numbers have been wild. Yeah, the good news is that little bit by little bit we are going to be clearing out. But it is really something. Like, here, I'll pop this back up. I'll pop this back up and I'll switch it back over to latest precipitation, 72 hours. And I'm just going to hide anything less than 3 inches and I'm going to come back up to our area. Yeah, and by the way, I don't know that I trust it, but like, you know, Doppler radar indicates that it could be like a 15-inch rain amount down there in Indian River County. There were definitely 10 inches of rain in many spots. So it's not out of the realm of possibility, but yeah, I mean, you know, but like you're talking about New Smyrna Beach flooding. And I mean, we come up here and just looking over the last 72 hours, you know, like New Smyrna Beach, like that's Daytona. There's New Smyrna, you know, there's been some rain. There has definitely been some rain there. 7, 8, 9. I know it's cluttery, but this is not something we show on TV. It's something that I'll show on Coffee Talk. But yeah, models definitely underestimated the rain for this booger. Goes back to what Eric says. Models are it's guidance, not gospel. Right. I mean, if we had a decent handle on this amount of moisture, it certainly we would. You know, we knew that there was concern for some good rain, but we didn't expect it was going to be like that. So yeah, agreed. Some of the models though did say like 3, 4, 5 inches of rain. You know, Brian says, rain total by UCF. My weather station crapped out a couple weeks ago. Supposedly Santa's bringing a new one. You know what's funny? My weather station crapped out like 6 months ago, and I still haven't replaced the hub for it. Near UCF. I mean, near the Oviedo Mall. So UCF 6.33 at the FSWN site, which is down, I believe it's by like the research park. Yeah, 6.3 inches of rain. Yeah, not far from me. What is this one? Tuscola Country Club 7.1, 6.47 out near like Lake. Orange Seminole border there on Cimarron, 5 inches. So this is like my neighborhood here. Yeah. And everybody, you know, no matter where we are though in the metro, like there have been impressive rain numbers. Yeah. Yeah, Chris. Yeah. Use that exactly. Use that as an excuse. That works. Oh man, we're pretty dry in St. Pete. It's just gray out but dry. Yeah, let's look and see. I didn't even look, if I'm honest, to see if you guys got anything. I mean, yeah. Ignore that 21 inches. That's bad data. If I turn on all the rain gauges, yeah. I mean, half an inch, that's Clearwater. We go down to where my brother Frank lives. I mean, you got some rain last couple days. There's Treasure Island, an inch and a half. I mean, that's not nothing. So, you know, just depends. Just depends on where you are. So this is not tied to anything tropical. It's just that area of low pressure. I do want to mention, though, there is one area that we're watching in the tropical realm. It's south of us. It is potential tropical cyclone 22, which means it is nothing. It's still nothing. I've seen a couple of people saying like, oh, it was upgraded from an invest to a potential tropical cyclone. That is not the case. It is still no more than an invest in terms of intensity. So why the name? Because it allows the National Hurricane Center to issue advisories, because it's something they think is developing and they cannot issue advisories in their database for an invest. So they upgraded it to a potential tropical cyclone so that they could put out tropical storm watches for Jamaica, Cuba, Turks, Caicos, and parts of Hispaniola. And it is expected to strengthen and become a short-lived tropical storm, we think, as early as overnight tonight, okay? And then a brief tropical storm as it moves away. Not a threat to us. Important to note that. Not a threat to us in Central Florida. Next name, by the way, on the list. I don't know why that list came up. Did I? Oh, I loaded I loaded the wrong one. That's my fault. The next name on the list is Vince. Good times. All right. All right. Any questions? Any questions? Event here in Mount Dora tomorrow. I would say cloudy with a couple of showers. Really not too bad. Really not too bad. Yeah. I see a lot of people asking about Thanksgiving, so we're definitely going to need to talk about some travel stuff. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? All right. So here's today. Let's start with today. Travel forecast. And you don't need a meteorologist to tell you it's wet down here in the southeastern United States, right? Here's the radar loop through the day. Obviously, that moisture is going to be pulling away from Florida, but may run into some issues with this moisture pulling into the northeast travel corridor. For now, things are actually looking really, really good. I'll take a step back from this for just a moment and look at the National Airspace System and all the big airports. And everybody is looking good. Down here in the southeastern United States, all flights are looking good. In the northeast, all of the big hubs, LaGuardia, Kennedy, Newark, Boston, looking good. Both Washington National and, it's Reagan National now. Reagan National and Dulles, everybody looking good. So that's great, okay? So for right now, and since we're talking about travel, if your flight is leaving in the next little bit, there are 20 delayed flights, okay? But the vast majority of flights in Orlando are looking good. So for today, that's kind of what we're looking at, okay? All right, that is today. Let's look at tomorrow. Travel definitely picking up the next couple of days. And tomorrow, I think travel is going to start to be an issue on the West Coast, okay? SeaTac, for example. Notice some rain even coming into SoCal. And in addition to that, some snow in the mountains out in California. The middle of the country looking good. The eastern part of the country really looking good. Sunday is a very big travel day. Sunday is a very big travel day. My concern here is going to be for United's hub out in Denver and to watch, a few flurries up in upstate New York into Boston and New England and perhaps in the evening and overnight into New York. So that's not looking too bad. Monday, I don't know that this, I may have to start changing. Yeah, so I may have to change a model. So give me 2 seconds. I'm going to change to a long-term model, and we're going to start diving in deep into the forecast. Just give me a few seconds here. Where is the graphic I fixed yesterday? There it is. All right. I had loaded a long-range graphic in there. All right. So Monday. Give it a second to go buffer the data. Perfect. Okay. So Monday. It's thinking. Give it a second. It's thinking. Go. All right. So Monday. A little bit of snow across Denver again. Some showers perhaps working through, so Chicago may have a little bit of a flight delay issue there. Not a big concern. Let's go to Tuesday. We're just going to do the long range thing. Give me a second. I'm making the sausage, so it's going to take a few extra seconds. Tuesday. Drag you all the way to the bottom. All right, so there's Tuesday. Tuesday, the weather gets a little more active, right? We've got that front kind of heading toward Florida. So Houston, all the airports that run through Houston, clearing out of Dallas. Chicago got some snow up into the Great Lakes, so that may end up being a little bit of an issue. So New York, Tuesday into Wednesday, I'm starting to get at least a little concerned. Wednesday, of course, we know is the big travel day. Let me plug in the long-range modeling here. And yeah, of course. Oh, all right. Far less than ideal, right? Like there's Wednesday, some showers in our area, but look at the snow and the rain snow line in New York. Like the day before Thanksgiving, what we do not need to have is a storm system in the northeastern United States. So that could prove to be interesting. And then Thanksgiving Thursday, give me a second. Thanksgiving Thursday, it's starting to clear out, and we'll just see some rain into the deep south, like Texas, Louisiana. So Wednesday. Do we want to talk about it? Like, anybody traveling Wednesday? That's going to be a rough one. Now, if you're not traveling, here's the thing. If you're not traveling, Thanksgiving in Central Florida, high temps in the 60s, morning lows in the 40s and 50s, that is a definite possibility. Yeah. It's a real good possibility. Take a look at Central Florida's certified most accurate 7-day forecast. Okay, just kind of get a glance here at where we're headed with this. So for today, we'll go 78 or so for our high temperature, cloudy skies. But yeah, 60s to about 70 degrees. I love that. A few showers Wednesday as that next front moves in. But Thanksgiving is going to be looking awesome. Just awesome. I love that. I'm traveling Wednesday, picking up all my Thanksgiving stuff. I'm hoping that for those that are traveling on Wednesday, like via airplane, I'm hopeful for you. I'm hopeful for you. Thanksgiving here in Central Florida doesn't look too bad. Dew points in the 30s, like, gonna need your chapstick. Yeah. That would be incredible for Thanksgiving, Tiffany, wouldn't it? Oh, man. It's the way it's looking right now. It's the way it's looking right now. Perkins makes good pies. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Love it. I would love 60s. It's already 70 at 8:25 in Miami. YOLO over on YouTube. I feel ya. I feel ya. All right. So, how we doing? Any questions? Any comments? Any concerns? Linda, daughter works in Indian River and said lots of flooding down there. Indeed. Yeah. Susie says perfect for smoking my turkey. Yeah, I would think so. I would think so. I would think so. All right, people. So we're looking good. We're looking good. Got to start making pie crust for next week. You know, Thanksgiving's the one meal I've never had the chance to prepare. Everybody around me does. Not that I'm like wanting to, but there it is. So, all right. That's all I got, people. Be good. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. Take care. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.